The Bell Witch Haunting, a real American horror story. In the early 1800s, the quiet farming community of Adams, Tennessee, was known for its rolling hills, fertile land, and simple country life. But in 1817, the Bell family who lived there began to experience something that would turn their lives into a living nightmare. Something so terrifying that it became one of the most famous hauntings in American history. John Bell, the head of the family, first noticed something strange one evening while walking through his cornfield. In the distance, he saw an odd-looking animal. It looked like a dog, but much larger, with the head of a rabbit. Before he could react, the creature vanished into thin air. John thought maybe he was just tired. But soon, things inside the house began to change. At night, the Bell children complained of hearing scratching sounds on the walls, chains dragging across the floor, and whispering voices coming from the dark corners of their rooms. At first, John and his wife Lucy dismissed it as imagination, but soon the noises grew louder. Knocks on the door with no one outside, footsteps across the wooden floorboards when the whole family was in bed. Then the attacks began. The youngest daughter, Betsy Bell, was especially tormented. Invisible hands would pull her hair, slap her across the face, and leave red handprints on her skin. Sometimes her covers would be ripped from her bed, and she would be lifted into the air screaming as if unseen hands were holding her up. The Bell family prayed, tried to ignore it, but the spirit, or whatever it was, grew stronger. Neighbors who visited also experienced strange things: cold drafts, ghostly laughter, and sometimes even a disembodied voice speaking from the shadows. And soon, the voice began to speak clearly. The family claimed the spirit introduced itself as Kate, and she became known as the Bell Witch. Kate said she hated John Bell and was determined to kill him. Her voice was sharp, mocking, and cruel. She would laugh when the family cried, sing church hymns in a distorted tone, and sometimes repeat conversations happening miles away, as if she could hear everything in town. Word spread quickly. People came from all over to witness the haunting. Even Andrew Jackson, who later became the President of the United States, visited the Bell home. When Jackson's men tried to enter the house, their wagon suddenly stopped. The wheels locked as if held by invisible hands. One soldier shouted that it must be the Bell Witch, and in a deep, mocking voice, the witch said, "I'll see you tonight." That night, Jackson's men were attacked. Some slapped, some scratched, some had their blankets pulled away as they slept. By morning, they begged to leave. Years passed, but the Bell Witch grew bolder. She often told John Bell directly that she would end his life. John began to grow weaker, plagued by mysterious illnesses and constant torment from the spirit. On the morning of December 20th, 1820, John was found dead in his bed. A strange black liquid was discovered nearby, a poison, and the Bell Witch's voice was heard laughing in the room, saying, "I gave him the dose that fixed him." Even after John's death, the Bell Witch continued to torment the family, especially young Betsy. Whenever Betsy tried to get close to a young man she wanted to marry, the spirit would interfere, whispering horrible things, tormenting her until she broke off the engagement. The witch seemed determined to keep her miserable. Eventually, the spirit grew quieter and promised to leave, but she swore she would return in 7 years. And again, 100 years later, locals believe that to this day, the land in Adams, Tennessee, is cursed. site of the Bell Witch Cave, near the old Bell Farm, is still said to be haunted. Visitors report hearing whispers in the darkness, feeling hands touch them in the cave, and sometimes hearing a mocking laugh echoing in the shadows of the moon. Which story remains one of the most chilling real hauntings in America, a tale of a family terrorized for years by an unseen force that could scratch, slap, speak, and even kill. And even today, no one can explain what really happened in that Tennessee farmhouse. Was it a ghost, a demon, or something far darker? All we know is the Bell Witch never truly left.